Now, what are some of the best businesses to start in rural Kenya, rural areas? So if you want to start a business in rural areas, which are the best ones to start? In rural areas, there's no way you can go and start fast food restaurant. There's no way you can go and start a higher business. But there are businesses you can comfortably start. Here is the list. The first one, which is very common, is boda boda. This one, there's no debate and no discussion. The second one is the sound system, chairs, and tent business. You know, there are so many events in the village. Weddings, we have church events, funerals. So if you buy those chairs, tents, and sound systems for hire, I guarantee you'll make a lot of money. So this is one of the best businesses to start. With just 200,000, you are ready to go. What you do is just go out and buy them, keep them in your house, and go to villages and where functions happen, and tell them you have these items. They want to hire, you are there. So that's another business. Another one is, of course, agrovet. There's a lot of farming being done in the villages, and agrovet is a good idea in the village. Agrovet in Nairobi cannot, it is not profitable. Do it in the village. You can also start boda boda spare part business. You know, those boda boda people will want to buy spare parts, and there are many in the village. You have those spare parts and also learn how to how to repair boda boda. You can also start, another very good idea is to sell smartphone, lipa mdogo mdogo business. Integrate with the smartphone repair business. That one in any rural area will be a good idea. Lipa mdogo mdogo, where they pay pole pole every month. So if a smartphone costs 50,000, they'll pay let's say 20,000 first installment, then pay 2,000 every month until they finish. That one will work. You can also start selling boda boda on loan. Another good idea. This one, I guarantee you will get business. A very good business to do. The other one is farming. This one, there's no discussion at all. You know, people in Nairobi depend on people in the village. You can also start business of mobile banking and M-Pesa. M-Pesa, this one can work. So if you start this business M-Pesa and you integrate with mobile agency, this one is a good business. Another one is to sell those mobile solar items, those solar systems, those small ones. You know, people now in the village, there are several people without electricity. You know, companies like M-Copper are making a kill. They're making a lot of money So if you know where you can get those solar and sell to those villagers, you can sell us. No, there's them solars which can only be used to charge smartphones, flashlights, to charge all these small things. To you can use for radio, whatever. So that's another thing you can do. Solar. Apart from that, in the village you can do dairy farming. This one is a very good business. So there are some villages also where you can do Airbnb, but it depends on the number of people in those places. But Airbnb in the village cannot be as profitable as those in major towns, but it's a business to think of. You can also buy a tractor for plowing land. Buy a tractor for plowing land. That is a very good business in the village, but it's seasonal. People plow from January to March or around September. Another one is machine for harvesting maize. Machine for harvesting maize. In Rift Valley and Nyanza, these machines are in demand, and people are shifting from the way people used to harvest. Nowadays they just harvest and make it ready for market that single day. So consider this. And if you go to the village at the moment, most villagers don't think of this idea. They harvest manually. If you introduce this and you are the first one, you'll see how much money you'll make. You will see. So mimi nimetembea, you can only get these machines in places like Nakuru. Go to Kisii. Go to places like Transmara. They don't have these machines. And you know, when harvesting, to harvest one sack is how much? So this is a good business you can do in the village. So in the village, there's also another idea. You know, those people, instead, you know, there's a lot of rainfall in the village and they don't have tanks. They don't have tanks at all. So if you start selling tanks, water storage tanks, this is business that can be very successful in the village. Another one is to buy a vehicle for special functions. A vehicle. So there, instead of, you know, you'll see that in the villages, they normally hire school buses expensively. So if you can come up with a bus which can be hired in the village for functions, people going to graduation, people going to attend functions in Nairobi, weddings somewhere, funerals. So if you come up with that, don't you think you'll make money? Another business is a posho mill. Huko village wanunue unga ile ya duka, huwa wanasiaga. So go and buy a posho meal, especially in Western and Nyanza, even in some parts of Rift Valley, and you'll make money. It's a very good business. You also have a general shop. A general shop in town, it's not profitable, but in villages, it is very profitable because there are very few supermarkets there. In the general shop, we can also sell gas cylinders. You can integrate with M-Pesa. Start this business. Also, a chemist plus a small clinic. Chemist and a small clinic. If you are a nurse, why struggle in Nairobi with joblessness? Go to populated areas and start a chemist and a small clinic there where you do these small procedures. I guess you'll make decent cash. The last one is to start lending money to villagers. Start something like a Shylock in the village. So go to a certain person. There are people who have assets but don't have money. So if someone has got a goat but doesn't have 8,000 to plow his land. So what you do is give them 8,000 and they can use the goat as the collateral. Yeah, you lend them money. It's a very good business you can do, and those people will take that money very fast. So these are some of the businesses you can do in the villages. For example, if you are working, have been transferred, and you want to make extra cash. But the problem with villages, there are no many other. In Nairobi, there are more than 100 businesses you can do. But in the villages, you cannot go and start a garbage collection business. That one you will get zero land. You will not start a landscaping business. That one will not work. Fast food restaurant, it will not work. Selling bottled water, it will not work. Shoe shining, it will not work. People, yeah, it's good to work. So you have to do your research very well in order to make money in the villages. And apart from those, you can start a pool table business plus PlayStation. Pool plus PlayStation. And you see how it will do. I'm sure it will work very well. And we also have wines and spirits, that is obvious. Can do it very well in the village. So generally, those are the businesses you can do in villages in Kenya. You can also add one that you have seen, it can work in villages. We are here to share ideas. I've shared mine, share yours.